down. Good job, good job. Push up. There we go. 2 more. Yo, we are doing good, man. Keep it going, keep it going. Ooh, confused. I'm coming folkish. Be shocked. Ooh, focus this one on the right. About to get shock ammo back again. Hold on. Oh, he's down. All right, 1 rogue agent left. Come on, come on. Yo, let's go, dude. Yeah. Yo, legendary 4 directives with a 4-man group. Let's get it, man. Now, I just wanted to give you a taste of, the gameplay that you're going to have after this build breakdown. We started off by doing solo summit, right? I started doing solo summit legendary with a few directives. I think like 4 or 5 directives, something like that, right? Super easy. Well, at a certain point, I think I did, I don't know, 2 or 3 floors. And then I was like, well, as far as legendary content goes, what if I just randomly matchmake, summit legendary and, see what comes up of it. And well, I joined this random group. Everyone was under, I don't know, 1300 shade level or whatever. And we just started blowing through legendary content in the summit. And it was actually a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to have that entire rogue agent encounter and more gameplay at the end of this build breakdown. But this is a protection from elites build for PvE content. You don't need protection from elites against players. So please don't try this in PvP. This is a PvE build, more specifically a legendary content build. So I hope you enjoy. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. And in today's build video, I'm going to bring you a St. Elmo's engine build for legendary content. Now, we are going to be doing this in the Summit because the Summit is the only place in the entire game that you are able to do legendary content that changes. What do I mean by that? Well, the Summit starts at floor 1 and goes up to 99, right? Floor 100 is the same no matter what you do. But floors 1 to 99 are different, meaning the difficulty scales. It depends on how many people are in your team, so it'll scale to how many's in your group, but then it also scales to what floor you are on. So if I do rogue agents on floor 1, it's different than doing rogue agents on floor 56 or 57, whatever it is we just did. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I am seeing more and more people flock to the Summit Legendary whenever they're bored or they just want to do something with higher difficulty, but also gives you higher rewards. Now, remember, the gear does scale, so you get really good gear doing the Summit Legendary, sessions, I guess you could call them. But I'm getting a little far into this. Let's start off with the build breakdown, and then we'll jump into that gameplay, okay? So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments section below. But let's start off with that build breakdown. Now, starting with the specialization, and this is vital for the build. You want to use, or you have to use, the survivalist specialization. Now, the reason being is it comes with a passive talent that gives you 10% protection from elites. So if you do not use the survivalist specialization, you will not have the exact same number for protection from elites that I'm about to show you. So there you go. There's your disclaimer. Now, another thing is I am not at max protection from elites. The reason being is I wanted to use the Picaro's holster, and I wanted a little bit more armor for this build video. Now, if you want to see a max protection from elites build, just let me know in the comments, and I'll throw one up and show you some more legendary content. Now, What makes this build so unique is it comes with improvised items. Now, you cannot uh, get improvised items to drop. You cannot farm improvised items. The only way to get improvised items is to craft them. So, what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at my gloves and my knee pads, you can see there are no symbols involved, nothing like that, but you can see there are four different colors there. There are three red and a blue, and that signifies you have a core attribute, two normal attributes, and a mod slot. So now I have a mod on my gloves and I have a mod on my knee pads. Now, to craft these, you don't have to do anything crazy. You can craft these at level 1. They are in the crafting station as soon as you unlock the crafting station. Now, that's the cool thing about this. The difficult part is getting the right ones to drop while crafting. So, for all of your gear item slots, you can craft improvised. Just go to the other category and you can see improvised and random. The improvised will give you a random core attribute, two random attributes, and then a mod slot, a gear mod slot. Now, the reason why we're not doing this for the backpack, mask, or chest piece is because these typically come with talents or exotics. You don't want to replace something that has a talent or an exotic when, you're trying to do damage or survivability, something like that. Now, you already have a mod slot for those items, so again, they're not needed. Now, the best way to get max protection from elites would be to have the gloves, knee pads, and holster all improvised. Now, instead of doing that, I wanted to do a little bit more survivability for you. So I have the Picaro's holster because this gives me the opportunity to run armor and weapon damage. Where if I do improvised, I'm only going to have weapon damage or armor. I can't have both. So that 1.5 million armor would drop down to, like, say, 1.3 million armor. But I would have the same damage output, but then I would, also have max protection from elites. Now, with that being said, the gloves are all crit, and I do have protection from elites on them. Now, the knee pads, crit and headshot with protection from elites. I have that with the Picaros, the Matador, the Catharsis, and then a unbreakable Fenris chest piece. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is I want to have a tanky DPS build that you can run and gun and not be afraid to run and gun. The only problem here is face tanking like the dogs and the Wallybots. Everything else is super simple, super easy. Even those rogue agents, really fun. The only bad part is their skills. So, like a turret or a drone, it's not necessarily an elite. It just shows up as a red and it hurts really bad. So, you just have to watch out for rogue agent skills. Everything else, game on. Now, starting with the weapons, okay? We already said the specialization for protection from elites. That's the only real reason. If you switch off that specialization, you're going to have to use a improvised holster to give you that extra protection from elites. Now, looking at my only weapon, actually, I'm not using my secondary or sidearm. I don't know if you've watched any of my build videos in the past, but I typically just try to showcase the primary weapon. That way you can use whatever secondary or sidearm that you want. So for this build video, I have the Slayer for my secondary, and then the backup boomstick with close and personal for my sidearm. But it's all about the St. Elmo's engine. This is the only weapon I'm going to be using. Now, it's sitting at 96.8k total damage, but we're only at expertise level 19. That means I can get this 4% higher, which would bump me up over that 100k total damage mark. Another thing to note here is I'm not at max health damage or damage to targets at a cover, so you can get this weapon to hit even harder. But nevertheless, the main reason why everyone's using this weapon is because one, it has a really high magazine size for an assault rifle. 70 rounds just on a standard St. Elmo's engine is redonkulous. Now, another thing that is just straight banana pancakes is the RPM. 850 RPM is crazy. With this high of a magazine size, they're just begging you to run and gun with this build. Now, the cool part about this is the talent, Actum Est. So, shooting an enemy will gain you a stack. After 100 stacks, you need to reload your weapon. And once you reload your weapon, your entire magazine will be full of shock ammo. And this will put a smile on your face. It'll even surprise you at times. It's really fun. Just shocking like a rusher or like a sniper, whatever, and then just mowing them down before they can even do anything is really fun. Now, again, secondary sidearm, those don't matter. Use whatever you want. Let's talk about the build. Now, I'm using the Catharsis, Matador, Fenris, Picaros, and 2 improvised. Deep diving, starting with the mask, we have the Catharsis. This is the exotic mask with the talent Vicious Cycle. So taking damage will build up stacks, giving me more weapon damage. Once I'm at max stacks and I take damage, it'll take all my stacks away, but then it will also take away any status effects that are on me, and it will drop me a healing cloud on the ground, which will heal me for 5% of my max armor. Pretty cool. Now, as far as the attributes, comes with max armor, incoming repairs, and armor regen with a protection from elites mod. Backpack is the Matador. Now, a lot of you ask about the backpack skin, so let me show you really quick. Bonehead backpack skin, okay? Look for the Bonehead backpack skin. Now, as far as the Matador, this is the named Walker and Harris backpack with perfect adrenaline rush. Now, a perfect adrenaline rush will give us 23% bonus armor per enemy that is within 10 meters of us, and it stacks up to 3 times. So we can get 69% bonus armor just from this backpack. Now, the Walker Harris brand set bonus for this build, 5% weapon damage. I rolled on here max armor for the core. We have double crit, so max crit chance, crit hit damage with a protection from elites mod. Going to the chest piece, we have the Fenris chest piece. Now, the Fenris brand set bonus for this build, 10% AR damage. We have max armor for the core, double crit again with a protection from elites mod, and unbreakable. And every time our armor is depleted, we get 95% of our armor back. Picaro's holster. This is the pretty much the best in slot holster in the game right now because it gives you armor and weapon damage at the same time. Not only that, but I have crit chance rolled on here, and we get skill haste from the brand set bonus. And then the last 2 items are going to be my improvised. I have improvised gloves here with weapon damage, double crit, and protection from elites. And then improvised knee pads with weapon damage for the core, crit hit damage, headshot damage, and then protection from elites. Now, as far as the skills go, in the gameplay, I am using skills, or directives, I'll be using directives that have like cool skills on or scavenge skills, something like that. So I'm not really using my skills much. However, I have the striker drone just to distract the NPCs while we focus fire. And then I have the reviver hive just in case, things hit the fan. Now, let's finish up with the stats, and then I'll show you the legendary gameplay. This is for the St. Elmo's engine. 96.8k weapon damage, 52.3% crit chance, 110 for the crit hit damage, and 85 for the headshot. Don't forget about the health and damage to targets at a cover. Going to the offensive tab, 79% all weapons damage bonus and 40% AR damage bonus. So every time we're using the St. Elmo's engine, we're sitting at 119% damage bonus total. Gear talents, we're using Perfect, Adrenaline Rush, Unbreakable, and Vicious Cycle. For the defensive tab, we're over 1.5 million armor, 343k health, 70% protection from elites. Remember, we are not at max of 80%. If you want to see that, just let me know in the comments. And then for the hazard and explosive resistance, we're sitting at 10%. And that's due to my watch level. So here's my disclaimer for all my build videos. I am sitting at watch level 5027. That means all these boxes are maxed out 50 of 50. Now, if you are at or above shade level 1000, you can copy and paste my build and get the exact same numbers and results. However, if you are below shade level 1000 and you go to copy and paste my build, some of these boxes are not going to be maxed out. Therefore, some of your numbers are not going to be the same as mine. They're not going to be as high. So it's not a requirement. I'm just recommending. Try to get to shade level 1000 and get the most potential out of your builds. You'll love it. Anyways, that is it for the build breakdown. I'm trying to make these as quick as possible. That way we can jump over to the gameplay. So if you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, please hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. I am Kamikazevondoom. Have a great day, and let's roll that footage, right? Peace out, and...
Hostile restore hive detected. Rogue sniper turret detected. Hostile sniper turret detected. Restore hive.